Hi guys. Okay, so we're back to it. The reason I gave you a little break was because 22 minutes is a long time to sit and listen to a story, and you needed a little intermission and be able to stretch and go and do a few things. So here we are, Honey and the Adventure of Peppermint Falls. The story continues. When the four best friends came to a beautiful grassy meadow, they stopped for a picnic. They had been so busy finding the first two keys, they had almost forgotten to eat lunch. I'm having what I always have, said Chewy the Beaver, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich cut in half and a carefully washed carrot for dessert. I'm having 3 cheeseburgers and an energy shake, said Lance the Lion. I'm having fresh vegetables and a slice of wheat bread, said Honey the Golden Retriever. And I'm having what I always have, said the cheerful Otter, at least what I always have on Tuesdays, cupcakes with pickle icing, and I brought plenty for everyone. Yuck, said Chewy and Honey, cupcakes with pickle icing? Double yuck, said Lance. That's enough about food. We need to look at the treasure map, said Chewy. It says right here that to find the next key we must go to, sputtered the Beaver. Go to where? Said the Lion impatiently. To Peppermint Falls? He finally got the words out. Peppermint Falls, they all cried with excitement. Oh, let's go right now. Now, if you lived in the forest where the best friends did, then you'd know why they were so excited. They had heard their parents tell stories about Peppermint Falls. It was a wonderful place. Mint bushes and crystal clear water mixed together in just the right way to make the water turn into peppermint. Candy canes grew everywhere, but these weren't ordinary candy canes. Even kids who don't like peppermint love these. They never get sticky when you lick them. They never turn your fingers red, and they don't even get lint on them if you brush against your sweater. Look at Lance's face. He's so happy. Chewy read them the words on the map. For the third treasure key, here's the rhyme. Listen with your heart and don't waste time. What does that mean? Asked Honey. Who cares? Said the others. We're on our way to Peppermint Falls. And so they were, and right into another big adventure. The map showed Peppermint Falls to the north of where they were, and Chewy the Beaver knew exactly how to get there. He had brought along a compass to help find directions. Beavers always carry extra things, a pocket knife, a flashlight, and other things like that, just in case. In no time they were headed north through the forest, and as they hiked along, they were thinking of all those candy canes, and that's when it happened. Help, said a very small voice just barely above a whisper. Help me. Stop, said Honey the Golden Retriever. Did you hear that? Hear what? Said Lance from the front of the group. Stop. I didn't hear anything, said Chewy, who was checking off each landmark they passed on a map. I can't hear very well upside down, said Giggles. The Otter was giving her feet a rest by walking on her hands just for fun. Well, maybe I was mistaken, said Honey, and the 4 best friends continued their march. As they got closer to Peppermint Falls, the sound of rushing water became louder. But Honey's sensitive ears heard the small voice a second time. Help, cried the voice. Somebody please help me. Did you hear it that time? Honey asked, looking around for some sign of trouble. See those big pictures? What's she looking for? She's trying to look behind the rock. Hear what? Said Lance. The waterfall? No, someone calling for help, said Honey. I think you're hearing things, said Giggles. The sound of the waterfall could be playing tricks on you, said Chewy the Beaver. The sound of the waterfall is making me hungry, said Lance. We're so close you can even smell the peppermint. Come on, let's go. Honey was left by herself as her 3 friends scampered off towards Peppermint Falls. I just know I heard something, said Honey, but after searching all around and finding nothing, she ran to catch up with her friends. In a few minutes, they got their first look at Peppermint Falls. It was breathtaking. There, shimmering in the sunlight, was a high waterfall with peppermint stripes of pure milk white and bright Christmas red. And right before them, all along both riverbanks, grew the yummiest, sweetest, most wonderful candy canes you could imagine. "We're here," shouted Lance. And all four of the animals jumped around. They were almost as excited as if they had found the treasure tree itself. Soon they were licking, slurping, and even chewing on the best candy they'd ever tasted. "That is all except Honey." She had heard that tiny voice again. "Help me. There isn't much time. Please help me." "Maybe I am hearing things," said Honey to herself. "No one else seems to hear." She could see the others already eating candy canes. But deep in her heart, she knew someone needed her help, and she knew she couldn't waste any more time. "That sound has to be coming from somewhere," said Honey, and quickly she looked under rocks and pushed aside bushes. Finally, she saw a flash of color between two trees, and then she heard that same small voice crying, "Quick, help me, he is coming." The voice came from a beautiful butterfly who was caught in a very large spider web, and the very large spider had just returned home for some lunch, and butterflies were his favorite meal. Yikes. The spider was licking his lips at the thought of a butterfly feast when flash, Honey snapped off a branch that held one side of the web, and a very surprised spider was sent tumbling into the bushes. Very gently, Honey helped free the butterfly from the strands of web. Look at her cute face. Boop. "Thank you very much," said the beautiful butterfly. "You're welcome," said Golden Retriever. "Would you come with me and tell my friends that I'm not hearing things?" And that's just what she did. After hearing the butterfly's story, the three friends all cheered Honey, the Golden Retriever, and that's when Chewy the Beaver remembered why they'd come up to the Peppermint Falls in the first place. "The treasure key," said Chewy. "We've forgotten about the treasure key, and that we all need to listen with our heart." "But Honey didn't forget," said the butterfly in her sweet little voice. "I didn't?" asked the kind-hearted dog, looking a little confused. "No, when I was hurting and needed a friend, you heard my cries and came to my rescue, and that's why I can take you to the treasure key." "Hooray!" cried all the animals. "Where is it?" And they all followed the butterfly to a tree filled with cocoons, all bursting forth with butterflies, and there, hanging in the midst of the tree, was a small golden key. You see the key? I don't know if I do. The lion's quick thinking and determined personality had won the first key. The otter's joyful and hopeful ways had found the second, and now the Golden Retriever's caring heart and listening ear had led them to the third key. Only one more key lay between them and the treasure tree, but before they could reach their goal, they marched right into another big adventure. Chewy and the Out-of-Place Hares. The four best friends were on their way to find key number 4, and as they marched together through the forest, they sang a marching song, one you can sing too. "We're the four best friends you see, and we're headed for the treasure tree. Just one more little key, and the treasure we will see." Well, they had just sung this song for the 25th time when they saw Aaron, the artistic elephant. Now, Aaron was one of the best-liked animals in the entire forest. "Aaron the artistic elephant," they all cried, and then they ran to where he was, standing in a field of yellow flowers. "Where are the four of you off to on such a fine day?" asked Aaron. Wise Old Owl gave us a treasure map for our birthdays, said Honey, and we're off to find the treasure tree. Wonderful, said Aaron. I'd love to paint a picture of the treasure tree. Perhaps you can one day, said Lance, but for now, we've got to find one more golden key that will get us in to see it. That's right, said Chewy. Just listen to this last clue on our map. If to the treasure tree you want to race, you'll have to see what's out of place. What a strange riddle, said Aaron. Yes, but we'll know the answer soon, said the lion. Come on, we've got a treasure tree to find. Goodbye, Aaron, said Giggles. We're on our way. It was good to see you, Aaron, said Honey, the golden retriever. And by the way, I like your flower painting very much. Thank you. I've had a great deal of trouble with my painting, said Aaron. But Aaron, said Honey, your flower looks beautiful. Oh, I haven't been having trouble painting a flower. I've been having trouble keeping my pictures from flying away. Flying away, said Chewy. What do you mean? Well, said Aaron, I'm allergic to flowers, and every time I finish a painting, achoo, went the elephant, and his big sneeze blew away his picture and the four friends as well. Where did they go, said Aaron, looking all around, suddenly all alone. Where they went was for an unexpected sneeze ride, and where they landed was a confusion junction. The best friends didn't know it yet, but Aaron's mighty sneeze had landed them right where they needed to be. Confusion Junction was a place where the main road split into 4 roads. And right where the 4 roads began stood 4 silly hares, better known as bunny rabbits. Each rabbit had on bright blue pants, orange suspenders, a green striped shirt, and a polka dot bow tie. Follow me, I'll take you to the treasure tree. This is great, said Honey the golden retriever. We've got 4 guides to help us find the last key. Let's go, said Lance the lion. The 4 friends began to walk towards the rabbits, but each rabbit ran down a different road, shouting all the time, follow me, I'll take you to the treasure tree. You can't really see that picture because the sunshine got really bright. There we go. So there's our 4 bunnies. And there's more. Stop, said the friends. Which one do we follow, said Giggles. They all look just alike and sound just alike too, said Honey. How will we ever find out which way to go? The best friends knew that only one rabbit could be right, but which one? They couldn't figure it out. Can you? You could if you were like Chewy the beaver. I know how to get to the bottom of this, said Chewy. Remember the clue Wise Old Owl gave us? If to the treasure tree you want to race, you'll have to see what's out of place. And with that, he lined up all 4 bunnies in a row and began looking for what was out of place. They look the same to me, said Giggles. Same pants, same shirt, same floppy ears, and same silly smile. Here we go. Let's see them all. They look the same to me too, said Lance. Do you want me to roar and scare them into telling us which is the right rabbit? No, no, said Chewy. It's clear which rabbit is the one we should follow. Can't you see? And while it was clear to Chewy, it wasn't to the others. Let's see again. Look at that wrinkle out. What's so different? Said Lance impatiently. Their tails, said Chewy. Their tails, said the friends. That's right, he said. 3 hares have tails that are the wrong color. They're the out-of-place hairs. But the real rabbit has a fluffy cotton white tail. And Chewy was right. Time was running out on a beautiful adventure-filled day, so the 4 friends ran after the hare with the cotton white tail until he came to a very tall fence. The fence was like a very long wall with a giant-sized gate, and hanging on the gate was the last golden key. "Yay, Chewy!" cried all the others, and they danced and jumped around like it was the best day of school before Christmas vacation. It was the lion's quick thinking and determined personality that won the first key. It was the otter's joyful and hopeful ways which found the second. And the golden retriever's caring heart and listening ear had led them to the third key. Woohoo! Can you see that? They're all so excited. But it took a beaver's careful attention to details to figure out what was different about those rabbits. And that's why Chewy was the one to find the final key. But now, how were the best friends going to use their 4 keys to reach the treasure tree? And this is the last chapter, the key to the treasure tree. The 4 best friends had learned many things in their search for the treasure tree, especially how much they needed each other. It had taken the quick thinking of a determined lion to get them across the uncrossable river and to put up with getting a pie on the head. It had taken an otter's joyful and hopeful ways to find a key that none could see and to rescue Chewy from the giant clam. And it had taken the golden retriever's caring heart and listening ears to hear the butterfly's cry for help and keep her from becoming the spider's dinner. And it had taken a beaver's close attention to detail to discover the out-of-place hairs and to see just how far an elephant's sneeze could take them. Now at last they had come to the end of their journey. Well, almost. They could see the treasure tree. It was tall and strong like a beautiful oak tree. It had delicious chocolate hearts wrapped in shiny red paper hanging from each branch. Look at that. But the only way to the treasure tree was through the big locked gate. "We're here," cried Lance. "We made it." "Let's go in," said Giggles. "I can't wait to taste those chocolates." "Our keys," shouted Chewy. "Our keys must open the gate. That's why we had to search for them." "Let's give them a try," said Lance. He put his key into the big lock on the gate and turned the key, but nothing happened. "Let me try my key," said Giggles, and she put her key into the same hole, but it did not work either. "Try mine," said the beaver. Still the gate did not open. And then Honey, the golden retriever, said, "It must be mine," but it wasn't. They still couldn't get the gate open. Now the animals were stumped. They had come so far, gone through so much, gathered every key, and yet they still couldn't get the gate to open. "How are we going to get in?" asked Honey, and that's when they heard a familiar voice. "Don't worry, best friends," said the wise old owl. "You've got the key to unlock the gate right in your hands." "What do you mean we've got the key to unlock the gate?" said Lance, sounding a little cross. "We've tried all our keys and none of them work." "Ah, but you're missing something," said the owl in a kind voice. "What was it that you learned on your adventures?" "How to pick a blueberry pie, how to tickle a clam, how never to stand near an elephant when he's sneezing," said the otter. "No, no, no," said the owl. "What did you learn about each other?" The 4 best friends thought for a minute, and then finally Honey, the golden retriever, spoke up. "I think what you're trying to say is that we've already found the real treasure when we learned how much we need each other. We're all different in many ways, and that's why each of us was able to solve a different riddle. Is that it, wise old owl?" It was. "Then I know how to open the gate," cried Chewy. "Leave it to a beaver to solve the last piece of the puzzle. Let's put our keys together." And when the 4 best friends put their 4 small keys together, they made one large key that fit perfectly into the lock. Lance turned the key and the gate swung wide open. Woohoo! The 4 best friends ran to the tree for the biggest chocolate feast ever, but the very best treasure of all was knowing how much they loved and needed each other. And they would never forget the wise old owl's final words. "The greatest truth you'll learn today is friends need friends along the way." Look at them all celebrating. Okay, kiddos, that's the treasure tree. What do we learn? We learn that our friends all come in different shapes and sizes, and we love them anyway. Everybody brings different stuff to the table, but when you're all together and you bring all your different stuff, your special stuff, that's what makes your friendships work, because everybody is so different. That's how God created us. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Look at that sunshine. Woohoo! Okay. I love you. Till next time.